Tonight, Mike Trout and the Halos look for a breakout game to get back to their winning ways. Royals and Angels is next. Halos looking to bounce back after a very tough loss last night. Tonight at the Big A, it's game number 2 of a 3-game set against the visiting Kansas City Royals. Hi, everybody, from inside the Big A, and alongside my partner, Mark Gubas, I'm Victor Rojas. So glad you could join us for Angels Baseball on Fox Sports West. Tonight, we've got a pretty interesting pitching matchup in that Jason Vargas is going for the Halos. Jeremy Guthrie is going for the Kansas City Royals. We'll talk about Guthrie in just a second. But for Jason, it's kind of getting back to what he was a couple of starts ago because he had a little bit of a speed bump the last time out.
Yeah, Victor, last time here at the Big A, he was absolutely outstanding against Baltimore. He utilized all his pitches. His fastball command was excellent, 88, 89, both sides of the plate. His changeup was good. He's got that swing and miss type changeup down and in on right-handed batters. He can run it away against them also. Sweeping breakable. He's going to need to pitch a great game because he's facing a very hot pitcher right now in Jeremy Guthrie. Has not lost a game since August 8th of last season. Fastball command there for him. He's 92, 93. Very good slider, curveball, changeup combination. He keeps the ball in the ballpark, so it's going to be difficult. Does everything well as far as field his position. Jason's capable of going out there matching up zeros. You're going to see a close game throughout, hopefully a break or two for the Angels. They're able to pull this one off.
Well, the Halos get Eric Ibar back in the lineup. He is leading things off in a shortstop position. And we saw Josh Hamilton come out of the game last night. He is back in there, although he will serve as the designated hitter. Mark Trumbull gets to start in right field. We're just about ready for baseball here at the Big A, so sit back and relax. We're bringing the lineups and the first pitch when we return. Angels Baseball is brought to you by your Southern California Hyundai dealers. By Jack in the Box, the Chipotle Chicken Club combo is back for a limited time at Jack in the Box. And by Corona, who invites you to find your beach. AT&T Uverse TV. Check availability at 1-800-PIC-ATT. Rethink possible. By CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax. CarMax, start here. And by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Oh, it's a beautiful night for baseball here at the Big A. The Halos trying to bounce back after a very difficult defeat at the hands of the Kansas City Royals last night. The umpires a little bit late in coming out tonight, led by the crew chief, Tim McClellan. So they're just now going to exchange lineup cards. But Jason Vargas is tired of waiting, so he decided to go ahead and get out there, get his warm-up pitches in.
I don't blame him. You know, once you're ready, your routine is gone forth as a starting pitcher. You want to start throwing some pitches off that mound and get it going.
Check out Ned Yost and his starting nine for the Royals tonight with the victory last night. They are 19-16, still a game and a half back in the American League Central in third place. They have Lorenzo Cain leading things off in center field. Alcides Escobar serves as the shortstop. Alex Gordon is in left field. Billy Butler had himself a 5-hit game last night with 5 runs batted in. That matches a career high for him as far as hits is concerned in the ball game. Eric Hosmer at first base. Salvador Perez is doing the catching. Mike Moustakas had a rough night last night and off to a slow start. He's at third base. Jeff Francoeur sees action for the first time in the series. He is in right. And the former American League MVP, Miguel Tejada, he is the bench player for Ned Yost, will bat ninth and play second base. Taking on Jason Vargas, who comes into this one with a 1-3 mark and a 4.26 ERA. He had been pitching much better of late, and all of a sudden ran into one inning in that start against the Houston Astros.
Yeah, other than that one inning, he threw it was throwing the ball very well. His changeup, both sides of the play, has been very good. Good command of his 88, 89 mile-an-hour fastball, and has been using his sweeping breaking ball a little bit more so and more consistently.
Check out the defense behind Vargas this evening. You've got J.B. Shuck in left, Mike Trout at center. It's Mark Trumbo getting the start in right field. Alberto Callasco, Eric Ibar, Howie Kendrick, and Albert Pujols around from third to first. Chris Iannetta is doing the catching.
Well, when you look at the defense, when you have Eric Ibar back at shortstop, this defense is so much better. He has committed 4 errors in that position this season, but he has great coverage both to the glove side and to the back end, and one of the strongest throwing arms from the shortstop in all of baseball.
So Lorenzo Cain will lead things off for Kansas City. Royals 9-8 out on the road this year. It's good to see Eric back in the lineup. Cain will look at a strike. Lorenzo Cain had 3 hits last night, 3 of the 19 hits, went 3 for 5 with a couple of runs batted in. 328 with a home run and 19 runs batted in. No 1 pitch. In. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. And if there's a little bit of a delay call with our call as far as balls and strikes, it's because there's a delay in the balls and strikes being called. Tim McClellan behind the plate tonight. That's outside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, you're always, when you're on the mound, if you're not hearing real well that night, you don't know exactly if it's going to be called a strike or not. He verbally calls it a strike, but it takes a while for him to get the hand up there as far as a strike call.
2-1 to Cain. 3 balls and a strike. Apparently missing in off the plate. That start that Vargas had on May the 9th. He ended up going 5 2/3 and allowing 5 runs, 5 earned. Full count. And it was that 2-out double to Jason Castro that opened things up, followed by 2 walks and a 2 RBI single to Matt Dominguez. Here's the payoff pitch. Cain fouls it back over the screen.
And what we saw from Kansas City last night was some patience at the plate. Generally known as a club very aggressive, swinging early in the count. And already 6 pitches thrown here, first at bat against Cain by Jason Vargas.
Cain a swing and a miss on the off-speed pitch. There's out number 1, and before Escobar steps to the plate, we'll check out our Hyundai key to the game.
With some Sammy Hagar tonight. I can't drive 55. The mentality has to be for this club right now is you got to push the limit every single time. When you get guys on base, you got to be aggressive first to third. You got to go after every baseball hit with aggression. And, of course, when Guthrie makes a mistake, you have to square it up and get it out of the ballpark. No more waiting around thinking you're going to turn this around. You have to have that mindset from the get-go tonight.
Alcides Escobar takes a little bit low for ball 1. He also had a 3-hit game.
3 for 5 with a double and an RBI, hitting .267, 3 home runs, 16 runs batted in. Guy that Ned Yost was using quite a bit of in the leadoff spot as he pops this one up. The first base line, KCA AT ANA makes the catch for out number 2.
And what you saw there from KCA AT ANA, because Albert Pujols is still dealing with the foot and knee issues, right away he called for that baseball. A lot of times you'll see a first baseman call off a catcher,
right,
want to pop up like that, but Pujols was playing back. You don't want to have to do any extra running if you don't have to. That's why Ionetta called for it right away.
Much easier play for a first baseman coming towards the home plate area than it is for a catcher going out.
Yeah, especially you're in the crouch position. You're trying to find the baseball, but they're trying to save Pujols as much as possible.
Alex Gordon steps in with 2 outs, bases clear. He will look at his strike. Gordon 2 for 5 last night, hitting .322 with 6 home runs, 28 runs batted in. The 19 hits allowed by the Halos, the most they've allowed this season in a ball game. Gordon drives one out toward left center field. This one will chase Mike Trout back onto the warning track at the wall. That's off the wall. Gordon will stroll into second with a double, 9th of the year.
Gordon is the double machine. 51 doubles last year, 45 the year before that. When he gets a pitch up, well, that's a nice approach for Gordon going through the baseball as Trout's going back on the baseball looking for the wall. So he'll at least get a piece of it. It didn't get too far away. Good backup, though, by J.B. Shuck. Be in position just in case that got away from Mike Trout.
A ball tailing away from Trout. Long way to go. So a double with 2 outs. That's how the scoring started for Kansas City last night. A single by Gordon with 2 outs in the first inning. Then Butler delivered with an RBI. Butler will look at his strike.
And if you're Vargas, you're making Butler hit your pitch, because Butler's, you mentioned it, 5 hits last night, but .462 career hitter against Vargas. So you had to try to expand the strike zone against him. Make him swing at a changeup or break a pitch in the dirt.
Evens the count of 1 ball, 1 strike. The 2 out runs is what the Angels really need to avoid. 8 of the 11 runs scored by Kansas City last night came with 2 outs. And you're playing a team of the Kansas City Royals that lead the majors in 2 out hitting with a .291 average. 45% of the overall team run output has come with 2 outs. 2 balls and a strike.
Well, they don't strike out a lot. They make pretty good contact. They've only struck out 237 times this year. Only Texas has equaled that mark. Everyone else has struck out more than Kansas City this year in the American League.
Butler bounces one toward the middle. Kendrick to the backhand has it. Fires to first, and Butler is retired. The inning comes to an end. Well, to the bottom of the first, Eric Ibar, Mike Trout, and Albert Pujols to face Jeremy Guthrie with no score. a ground down. We're scoreless here in the bottom of the first. Let's check out the Angels and their starting 9. 10 games under 500 at 14-24. Eric Ibar back in the lineup for the first time since Friday night. Mike Trout is at center. Albert Pujols at first. Mark Trumbo getting the start in right field as Josh Hamilton will serve as the DH tonight. Howie Kendrick at second. Alberto Callasco at third. Chris Iannetta is doing the catching. And J.B. Shuck bats tonight and plays left field. They are taking on a 33-year-old right-hander, native of Roseburg, Oregon, by the name of Jeremy Guthrie.
Guthrie fastball 90 to 95. Very good slider, curveball, and solid changeup now.
Ibar swings at the first one, out in front of a 91-mile-per-hour fastball. And it is 0-1. Eric hitting 273 with 5 doubles, 2 runs batted in. Came out of the 4th inning of Friday night's game against the Chicago White Sox. Pardon me, of Thursday's game against the Houston Astros. He missed that White Sox series.
Well, Eric is 2 for 21 in his career versus Guthrie. First pitch fastball, second pitch changeup.
Breaking ball. Misses, and it's 2 balls and a strike. .47 1/3 innings for Guthrie. 42 hits allowed, 30 strikeouts, 14 walks. A 2.28 ERA. Eric pulls a foul, evens the count at 2-2.
As well as he's pitched, though, he has given up some home runs. We talked about that in the pregame show. 7 home runs allowed by Guthrie. As I recall, over the years, it's generally been his slider that he leaves out over the plate or an occasional fastball that doesn't have that sink action for him.
10th career start, 11th overall appearance for Guthrie against the Angels. 3-3 with a .393. 2-2 on the way. This one's foul just in front of Alfredo Griffin, so the count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. No decision the last time out against the Angels. That was September 15th. Has not lost a decision. 18 straight starts. Yanked foul.
Dave Island, the pitching coach for the Royals, has worked with him since coming over in that deal with Colorado. More of a compact delivery, not a lot of wasted motion. Brings down the arm angle just enough to create deception and movement on his fastball.
Trout on deck. Eric just got a piece of that one.
It's good at bat working for Ibar so far. Throwing off some pretty tough pitches. It's also important as a leadoff guy to see some pitches so the guys in the on-deck circle and then on that bench can see the out pitches for Guthrie.
Eighth pitch of the at-bat is grounded to second base. Eric expanding his strike zone. There's out number 1. Let's check out the Royals defensively. Gordon, Kane, and Frank Gore in the outfield from left to right. The infield has Moustakas, Escobar, Tejada, and Hosmer. And Perez is doing the catching.
On cue, Tejada making that first play. At second base, played a number of years at shortstop where he was an MVP. Third baseman, now getting some starts for Kansas City at second base. 16th major league season for Miguel Tejada.
Here's Mike Trout. Trout looks at the breaking ball low. Mike had a 1-for-4 game last night, hitting .283. 6 home runs and 25 runs batted in. Has 11 doubles, 3 triples. Stack is about even with the bag at thirds. That one is low. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
Good patience by Trout, seeing those pitches started at the knees. There's no way it's going to stay in that plane. It's going to drop out of the strike zone. Be patient.
Three balls and no strikes. Guthrie last year being acquired by Kansas City. Started the season in Colorado. Did not look good for him. 3-9 with a .635, but he turned things around in KC. He delivers a 4-pitch walk to Trout with 1 out. We'll bring up Albert Pujols. We'll check out the key standings in the American League West. Texas Rangers at the top of the division. They lost last night to the Oakland A's, so Oakland picks up a game. A's 5 back, Mariners 6. The Angels 10. The Stros 14.5 back. Astros lost today to the Tigers 6-2. Texas and Oakland currently in the top of the second inning. Seattle trailing the Yankees 4-3. One ball, no strikes. It's 5 out of the strike zone. Jeremy Guthrie, Perez trying to calm him down. Mentioned that he turned things around for the Kansas City last year. In 14 starts, went 5-3 with a 3.16 in Kansas City. Hit the free agent market, re-signed with the Royals. Added some depth to their rotation. That one caught the corner to even the count of 1-1.
It's a very difficult combination to try to steal against. Perez behind the plate, Guthrie on the mound. Since joining Kansas City, Guthrie has not allowed a stolen base against him. And Perez has thrown out 35% of would-be base stealers. So very difficult for Mike Trout to get that lead to potentially steal a base.
1-1 pitch. Breaking ball. Drops in there. 1-2.
Very quick times at a plate for Guthrie. Holds the ball well. Slide steps. He's got a quick move. 8 career pickoffs for Guthrie.
Quick throw over and Trout back. No score here in the bottom of the first. Ibar grounded out after a lengthy at bat. Trout drew the 4-pitch walk, and now Pujols in the hole at 1-2. Albert 0 for 4 in his career against Guthrie. Howie Kendrick has extensive experience, as does Josh Hamilton. Eric Ibar against the right-hander. Hamilton has a couple of home runs against him. Trout started, then stopped as that pitch is low. Full count.
But even that is effective too, because everyone's going to be saying that he's going, and to force him to quicken up his delivery, and that pitch was out of the strike zone. So just the threat of stealing a base. You hear that action because in the infield, everyone's saying he's going, and then he stops.
And that reaction right there. Trout takes off. There's a broken bat flare on the infield. Tejada comes charging in, and he will flip it over to Guthrie. No, he won't. Guthrie started to run off the field, and there was a foot race between Trout and Tejada. And nice job by Trout to hustle all the way back to first. There are 2 outs.
Yeah, a lot of times runners will just give up and assume it was a double play going to be played against you. That could end up being big for the Angels here. Well, he's going and breeds it. Tejada has that easily, but Trout does not give up. So often you'll see a runner just stand there and concede the out. But Trout hustles through. See if that turns out to be a big play for the Angels here. Guthrie was over there in plenty of time.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Tejada would have beaten him had he just gone into a straight foot race with Trout heading back to first base. I think that's why he was looking for Guthrie.
I don't blame him.
There's Trumbo, 2 outs. Trout still at first. A bouncer foul off the body. It's an 0-1 count. Mark last night 0 for 4. Did pick up an RBI on a ground out. His average at 271. 9 home runs, 27 runs batted in. Trout looked like he was leaning a little bit.
Then you wonder if it's going to have any residual effect on Guthrie, because he's thinking he's through the inning. Instead, you're facing a guy like Mark Trumbo, who, if you lose concentration, can hit a ball out of the ballpark that quickly and be looking up and you're down 2-0.
Trout takes off, pitches outside, a throw from knees. It's not in time. It's still a base.
Now even bigger that play was not made. Now you have Trout in scoring position. Great jump. I say that's the first stolen base against Guthrie.
It's his 7th of the year.
Been caught 2 times. Very difficult to be able to throw from that position. It was a breaking pitch. He picked a good pitch to go on.
One pitch. Broken bat, bouncer back, and that bat hit Guthrie, but Perez picks up the baseball and fires it to first. The barrel came rifling toward the mound. Guthrie appears to be all right, and the inning will come to an end. One complete here at the Big A. We are scoreless. Santana talking, appears to be on the pop-up that Pujols did, getting back to first base. This is how the inning ended, though.
Boy, he jammed Trump when the bat came up and hit him. I remember one time when Paul Abbott was pitching for Seattle in Baltimore, where he got hit with the bat when it shattered like that, come flying back at you as a pitcher.
Eric Hosmer takes outside. Hosmer hitting .267 with a home run, 11 runs batted in. Hosmer had a 1-for-5 game last night. And that is drilled out to deep right center field. Trout giving chase on the warning track, makes the catch for the first out.
Boy, two left-handed batters in the lineup so far for the Royals against Vargas have had some good swings. Alex scoring a double to left center. Now Hosmer turns it out to right center, ran down by Trout just in front of the wall. A lot of times what that tells you, if left-handed batters are having good swings against you as a lefty pitcher, you have to throw more breaking pitches. And lefty's hitting .365 coming into the game against Vargas.
Catcher Salvador Perez takes outside. He had a 3-hit game last night with a double and 2 runs batted in. Hitting .298. A home run and 12 RBIs. He's 22 years of age. Native of Venezuela. Locked up through 2016. Given a contract extension last year. 1-1 pitch. Called strike, 1-2.
Well, now you think you might try change up away or fastball down and away.
Ground ball to the left side. Callaspo's got it on 2 big hops. 2 outs.
Well, they set up in on him, but it will end up being a fastball away, end up rolling over. So that's something you remember on the mound the next time you face Perez.
Mentioned the 11 runs on 19 hits for Kansas City, and in this day and age, as Vargas wants to do baseball of statistical analysis and then breaking things out, and when was the last time something like that happened? A little rarity in last night's game in that 11 runs without a walk or a home run by Kansas City. Moustakis pops this one fouling out of play. That was the first time that occurred in the American League since September 22nd, 1941. Tigers and the White Sox.
Wow. Interesting thing, Joe Blanton, after the game, kept explaining he felt he had very good stuff. But I think he had stuff was decent, but his sequence of pitches weren't there for him.
Moustakis went around, and it's an 0-2 count. Mendoza threw the ball well against this Angels lineup that has not been able to get it going. Picked up his first win of the year, 6 innings, 3 runs. That's a called strike 3. Down goes Moustakis. A 1-2-3 inning for Jason Vargas. That's his second punch out. Let's head to the bottom of the second with no score. Scoreless here in the bottom of the second. Josh Hamilton set to lead things off. It's Jeremy Guthrie, Hamilton, Kendrick, and Callasco here in the second. The first one is down low. Josh serving as a DH tonight. Came out of the ballgame last time after 3 at-bats. Dealing, as we were told, with lightheadedness. Josh clarified that he's experiencing some vertigo. Possibility of the onset of a sinus infection, change some medication. 2-0 is fouled back.
Got some pretty good numbers against Guthrie. 304 with 2 home runs. Got a fastball there on the inner half and fouled it back.
Hamilton had a couple of hits last night, so we're going to miss on the high fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hamilton was back out today for early BP. A couple of guys were out there at about 3 o'clock. Fouled back. Long first inning for Guthrie, but worked out of it. One base runner, that was Trout on a 4-pitch walk. Mike stranded in scoring position. This pitch is down and in. A full count. Not a full overshift, but Tejada out in shallow right. Escobar almost directly up the middle. Moustakis between third and short. There's a 3-2. He takes inside. That's a walk to lead off the second.
Let's take a look at our AAA leaders as far as undefeated starters in the American League this season. Matt Moore, winner tonight, now 7-0. Clay Buchholz, 6-0. Guthrie, Lester, and Max Scherzer all 5-0 to start the year. Matt Moore is going to be a special pitcher, hard-throwing left-hander for Tampa Bay.
Howie went 0 for 4 last night, hitting .282. 3 doubles, a triple, 5 home runs, 17 RBIs. Angels getting their leadoff man on board via the walk, because that one is just off the plate.
Well, Guthrie with 30 strikeouts this year, not necessarily known as a strikeout type pitcher, more of a pitch to contact guy. So Mike Scioscia's more apt to put hit and runs on, especially because he's down in the strike zone, much easier baseball to hit.
Now he lifts this one out toward right center. Lorenzo Cain is there. One out. That's that pitch that we've seen already from Guthrie on 3 different occasions to right-handed batters, running that fastball up and in.
Yeah, that's where he'll throw his 4-seam fastball. He throws a lot of 2-seam fastball. This is the one he runs up and in. Boy, 4-seam action, that's a great view, and he runs it in on the hands of a right-handed batter. What you can do as a right-handed pitcher on those plays inside is drop your elbow enough to create lateral movement, almost like Ernesto Frieri does with his fastball. Guthrie's been able to do that so far in these first couple of innings.
Alberto Callaspo takes a strike. Alberto had a multi-hit game last night, 2 for 4. First multi-hit game since May the 5th against Baltimore. 265 average. 0-1 pitch. 0-2.
Lefties are hitting 280 against Guthrie this year. Right-handed batters is 200. He's given up 5 home runs to left-handed batters. There's 2 the right-handed batters this year.
Outfield shallow for Kansas City. Oh, Frank Court pretty much straight up in right field. Terrific arm for Frank Court. Same with Gordon in left field. 1-2 off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
There's 8 outfield assists in this outfield tonight for Kansas City. Gordon with 2, Kane with 3, and Frank Court with 3 outfield assists.
One of the hits that Albert picked up last night, a double, his 2nd of the year. Bouncer to first. Hosmer's got it. Feeds Escobar for 1. Relay back to first. A double play. That will end the inning. We've played 2 here at the Big A. We're scoreless. Series, biggest rivalry for the Angels. Red Sox, Royals, or Yankees. As of last night, the Red Sox are leading the voting. See what happens tonight as well as tomorrow. This is a 3-game set, a 9-game homestand for the Angels, 3 against the Royals, 4 against the White Sox, then 2 against the Seattle Mariners. Jason Vargas back to work here in the third.
Good to see Peter Borges there. We just saw him in the dugout there. He's getting better and better. And Mike Scioscia had said once he's ready to go, he'll be playing center field, and Mike Trout will move back over to left field.
Jeff Francoeur swinging a miss on the first pitch, but let's not fool anybody believing that Peter Borges is going to be back in the lineup next week.
2 to 4 weeks probably.
Yeah, it's still got to temper that expectation a little bit, especially with the hamstring. This one down the line, foul. And especially with a guy with his speed and the explosiveness, and we've touched on this a little bit before. If it's a Steve Balboni, a former teammate for you, you don't worry about the hamstring so much. You can walk around the bases when you hit a home run.
His game is completely predicated around speed, both running the bases, running in the outfield. So you want to make sure that's 100%, or at least as close as you can get to it.
Yeah, takes inside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Francoeur hitting .229 with a home run and 9 runs batted in. And he swings and misses. The first out here in the third punch out for Jason.
Francoeur has always had a tough time with changeups from a left-handed pitcher going away. He's more of an inside type hitter. He's looking for fastballs in and looking for outer half. Great pitch there. Out in front, unable to make contact.
Here's Miguel Tejada, second baseman. Bench player for Ned Yost. Fouls the first one off. The first base shot. It's an 0-1 count. Tejada down in Dominican Winter League. Had a very good season down there. He was just looking for a job. He understood that whichever team signed him, that he was going to be fighting for a utility spot. Went to camp in Surprise, Arizona with the Royals and won that spot as Tejada grounds one sharply to short. Eric Ibar's got it. There's out number 2. Now Thursday, the Halos take on the White Sox for the first of 4. That's a 7:05 start. Fans in attendance will receive a Mark Trumbull bobblehead, courtesy of Total Performance Engine Oils, while supplies last. Purchase your tickets today at the Angels Stadium ticket office or by logging on at angels.com. It's not quite life-size, but close.
Yeah, I saw quite a few of those bobbleheads in the dugout today. Everyone was having fun with Mark Trumbo. So Howie, bunch of the guys, is commenting on Trumbo's bobblehead.
Yeah, that's not the scale. It's probably like, what would be the ratio?
I don't know. But what was it the other day when he was in Chicago when you had Adam Dunn and Mark Trumbo standing next to each other? That's some big human beings at first base in Chicago it was.
There it is. I mean, if Trumbo were playing first base, that's kind of what he would look like covering the bag.
No question. But now look how much he grew in the outfield and right field.
0-2 pitch to Kane. A little bit high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That bobblehead the size of one of his eyelets on his shoe.
Yeah.
Kane struck out his first time up. Kane strikes out the second time up. 1-2-3 inning for Vargas. We'll head to the bottom of the third with no score. Setting up 8-9-1. It's Jeremy Guthrie. Guthrie is not allowed a hit, but he has allowed 2 walks, but a double play ball as well in the second inning. Get down to that second inning. And then it takes down low. Chris 1 for 4 last night, picked up an RBI, his 10th of the year. Hitting 198. Two balls, no strikes.
You really can see why Guthrie could be effective. He throws that 2-seam fastball down at the knees. If you're patient, it'll run down and out of the strike zone. But then when you look down, he'll throw that fastball up and in on you. So he goes both sides of the plate, all quadrants of the plate against you with his fastball.
Falls behind here, 3 balls and no strikes. The Angels being a little bit more patient tonight than they were against Luis Mendoza last night. Strike 3-1. JB Shuck, the left fielder's on deck. Now 3-1. And he walked him. Third walk issued by Guthrie.
Coming up later in the game, we'll have the Carl's Jr. Sports Update. We'll fill you in on the Battle of the Titans in New York. And it's not always sunny in Philadelphia. I'll explain that a little bit later on.
I am so looking forward to your Philadelphia explanation.
We'll take on the TV show.
Philadelphia Freedom. Battle of the Titans. What was it, Giants, Jets? Shuck trying to bunt.
A little foul. King Felix and CC Sabathia in the Bronx.
Literally and figuratively.
Yes.
Giants.
Yes.
JB Shuck last night had a double with an RBI. His one and only hit for 4. Takes upstairs. The double is 4th. The RBI his 5th on the year. And that was from the leadoff spot back in the 9-hole with Ibar back in the lineup. It's the second straight inning, by the way, in which the Halos have had their leadoff man reached, both via the walk. Chuck bunts it up the third base line. That will roll and stay fair. Guaranteed. And trying to go to third is Iannetta, and he is going to be thrown out. Huge mistake by Chris Iannetta. No reason whatsoever to even chance that. And there's the first out. Moustakas alertly getting back to the bag. So that'll go as an infield base hit.
Boy, good communication too. And as soon as Moustakas heard and Iannetta was going to third base, was able to recover in time and apply the tag. We've seen it so often here at the Big A. This baseball will not roll foul down the line. And again, a lot of times as a coaching staff, that's what you try to do. You roll baseballs down the line to see if it's going to roll foul or not. At that point, Chris knew it. He was being aggressive. Mike Scioscia preaches that, but just overly aggressive there because the first and second with Ibar up, boy, you have so many options with no outs. Now it's a little different with Ibar up with 1 out and Shuck at first.
Yeah, there's aggressive and then there's stay put. Quick throw to first and Shuck is back. That's one thing that is really another one of those things that has really hurt the Angels this year. Outs on the base paths. Ibar shoots on the left field and there's a base hit. Shuck will stop at second. So at the very least, had everything played out the exact same way, you'd have the bases loaded with nobody out.
Now you can look back on that play as Iannetta's looking in and seeing that baseball roll down, and Dino Ebel has his hand put up there to have him stay at second base. But alertly, Moustakas gets back and applies the tag on Chris Iannetta.
Yeah, the only way that that play works is if you've got your mind made up halfway between first and second that you're not going to stop.
And that's a design play with guys with speed, the bunt and run, in which you're going to go around the base, assuming the third baseman's going to field it. He'll throw the first, and you can go all the way around.
That one thrown, and the Angels have made their second out at third base. The Halos just about ready to run themselves out of an inning. 2 outs now. You better make sure with Salvador Perez that ball is at the backstop with his arm.
And your commitment has to be right away. You have to commit and be aggressive. Secondary lead, slight hesitation. Perez, great arm, throws him out of third base.
You're already in scoring position with Mike Trout in the batter's box.
And what this does now for Guthrie, because there's an open base, he can force Mike Trout to swing at his own pitch now instead of something different first and second with one out.
Oh, you went from stress to no stress.
Exactly. You can make your pitch.
There's that four-seam fastball in on the hands. 2 balls and a strike. A couple of broken bats already for Guthrie. The Angels have a walk and 2 hits here in the third, have no runs, and have 2 outs. They're man in scoring position. This one lined to short, picked on a one-hop basis by Escobar. The throw is in time, apparently. It looked as if Hosmer's foot came off the bag. But that will be the 3rd out of the inning, and the Halos run themselves completely out of an inning. We're through 3, still scoreless.
And both thrown out at third base, aggressively trying to take that extra base. Not necessarily the right decision there. And Escobar, hard one hopper, but we talked about it last night with Eric Hosmer. Very good with the footwork, a lot like Wally Joyner as far as his good footwork and great hands at first base. Even Don Mattingly, to be able to catch the baseball and still know exactly where you can put your foot down to get the base, to get the out. Good call by Marvin Hudson, too, at first.
El City's Escobar leading things off. He's the shortstop that picked that hard hit one hopper. Hosmer due up 4th in this inning if we get to that point. 0-2 count on the shortstop Escobar, who's 0 for 1. He popped out in foul territory his first time up.
In sports in general, especially baseball, it's all about momentum. And after you have an opportunity to score a run and you don't, it's going to be really important for Vargas that somehow to find a way to get through this inning and give up nothing and get back to the offense.
This one, little floater out to shallow right field, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. So Kansas City for the first time this evening as their leadoff man reached, 2nd hit of the night. That'll bring up Alex Gordon.
0-2 pitch, good pitch by Vargas. Just flared into the outfield. 4 0-2 pitches so far for Vargas, getting ahead of the count.
Alex Gordon 1 for 1. He doubled off the left center field wall in the first inning. 9th double of the year. Led the American League last year with 51 doubles. 1-0 count. Chaos about even with the bag at third base. Vargas will check in on Escobar. Kansas City will run. They are third in the American League in stolen bases with 27. Escobar has 8 of them. Has not been caught stealing.
You know, Vargas' best move is to step off the pitching rubber and fire right away over to first. That's his A move.
1 ball, 1 strike. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on for Kansas City. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on for the Angels. Escobar with a base hit to right field to lead off this 4th inning.
It's just one of those moves from Vargas. He's just setting up Escobar. Look for him to do that quick step off throw over the first base here real soon in the sequence.
One and 2.
Where you had him going back to first base.
That's that pronounced leg kick. Fools a lot of base runners.
And once you cross the pitching rubber as a left-handed pitcher, you have to throw the baseball home, and that's exactly what Jason did.
This one down a left field line, tailing away from J.B. Shuck. Got a good jump, makes a diving catch. Heading back to first is Escobar. First down here in the 4th in the books.
Boy, what a play that is. As a left-handed batter, it's going away from the left fielder. J.B. Shuck had a very good jump on the baseball, kept his eye on it, full extension, dives, and makes an outstanding play against Gordon. One of those plays you're going to commit to diving, because if it gets by, it's at least a double and a run scored. But a great defensive play by J.B. Shuck. No movement in the head, allowed him to be able to concentrate on the baseball into the glove.
Billy Butler, the DH, will step in now. He grounded out to Kendrick to end the 1st inning, so Butler is 0 for 1. This one pulled, and that is a fair ball down the left field line. Shuck over to cut it off. The ball kind of stopped underneath the padding. Being waved around is Escobar. The throw home is up the first base line, and it's 1-0 Kansas City as Butler picks up a double and an RBI.
When there's going to be a discussion with the umpires here if this ball got stuck underneath the padding, because right away Eric Ibar threw his arms up. And Mike Scioscia is going to go out and talk to Bob Davidson to see if that ball was stuck under there long enough that it could be a ground rule double.
Bob Davidson will at least ask Tim McClellan, the crew chief. McClellan's already walking up the third base line, shaking his head no.
Well, it's a pretty difficult view for Tim McClellan behind the plate to see. That's more of a better view for the second base umpire, Chris Guccione. Fair ball just inside the line. And it gets away from the wall right away.
If it's stuck underneath that padding, that's a different story.
Yeah, he just got delayed just slightly, but it went away from the wall. The call was right.
Butler with his 26th RBIs. Hosmer steps in now, 1 out. A pitch inside. Hosmer hit a fly ball out to right center field. So he's 0 for 1.
Butler now 7 for 19 in his career versus Vargas with 6 RBI.
2-0 count. Bouncer back to the mound. Vargas thought about going to second, but he'll take the out at first. 2 down.
Now it's time for the Firestone Complete Auto Care Extra Mile Index. It's all about ERA versus Kansas City since 2010. Jared Weaver with an ERA under 1, 0.79. AJ Burnett, very good too, under 2. And Jason Vargas there behind him at 2.08. John Lester even with him. And King Felix, 2.38 ERA versus Kansas City since 2010.
Mike Scioscia saying before the game today as Perez takes the strike. Nope, there's ball. 1 ball, no strikes. That Jared Weaver will need 2 to 3 rehab starts before he's back in the rotation.
He had a good bullpen session today. It's so important to get him back in the rotation. Everything comes back to normal when you have your ace on that staff. Just think of what the Tigers would be without Verlander, what the Yankees would be without CC Sabathia, without King Felix in Seattle. That number 1 on your staff is so important to set the tone for the rest of the rotation.
One ball, 2 strikes on Perez. A ground ball to third, his first time up. Those catchers 0 for 1. Vargas with 4 strikeouts, no walks. 2 hits allowed here the 4th inning. Kansas City up 1-0. He thought about it. 2-2. Halos in the bottom of the 4th inning. We'll have Pujols, Trumbo, and Hamilton due up against Jeremy Guthrie.
A lot of strikes for Vargas. 50 pitches thrown, 35 strikes. Let's see a changeup here after that high fastball.
Just got a piece of it.
Well, this is one time as a pitcher, it's not a bad idea to come right back with another changeup. A lot of times a hitter will think in terms of he's going to try to sneak a fastball by me. So you're more apt to chase the changeup again.
Full count. Try to come back inside.
You see how well he tracked that fastball coming in, because that's what he was looking for.
On that changeup.
That changeup was elevated just enough. Now he has that ability to back it up with the 2-seam fastball, that same plane, but at 88, 89, it's going to get it by him.
3-2, got him swinging on the changeup. The inning comes to an end, but Kansas City strikes for a run and a couple of hits. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. Royals on top.
Jeremy Guthrie got some help from the defensive side. Bunt down the line by Shuck, but Chris Iannetta overly aggressive, tries to go to third base, and Mike Moustakis applies the tag, and then a pitch that gets away initially from Perez, but that strong throwing arm throws it at Shuck at third base. At that point, a walk and 2 singles, yet the Angels had 2 outs, both running at third base.
And right after that, the Royals struck for a run as Albert Pujols takes a breaking pitch down low for ball 1. Pujols, Trumbo, and Hamilton here in the 4th inning. No strikeouts, 3 walks issued by Guthrie. 2 hits allowed. 2 balls and no strikes. Command has been kind of an issue for Guthrie tonight. Matching a season high, pardon me. No, he hasn't. Last time out, he gave up 3 walks, but a season high in walks for him is 4, and now is back on April 21st against Boston. And that is hammered to deep left field, and we are tied at 1. A big fly for Albert Pujols, his 6th of the year.
Just like we were talking about on the pregame show, Guthrie doesn't make a lot of mistakes, but when he does, it's generally going to be hit out of the ballpark. 8th home run allowed, and Pujols crushes that baseball out to left field on a fastball. Fastball count. They try to sneak a 2-seamer in, but Pujols is quick out in front and crushes it out of the ballpark. 17th career home run versus Kansas City and 57th RBI.
First home run since May the 2nd for Albert. Oh, what count on Mark Trumbo. Luis Jimenez is a little excited.
Yes, he is.
He's happy for Albert. I believe.
He's going to go back and say, hey, let's get a couple more of those.
Almost fouls this one off to the right. It's an 0-2 count.
He's great. I'll tell you what, it's fun to talk to him.
He's still going. There's some fire in that bench player right now, there's no doubt.
I was joking with him about hitting those rockets at Viciedo the other day in Chicago. So what were you thinking about? He goes, I know. He kept catching everything I hit at him.
1 ball, 2 strikes. He's done worked up a sweat.
He's got a good lather working.
Yeah, he does. Hamilton on deck. Here's the 1-2. Trumbo takes slow. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mark hit that little bouncer out in front of the plate. Shot off his bat. Kind of came up and grazed Guthrie to end the first inning. So he's 0 for 1.
I believe he's going to try that pitch again coming up here.
2-2. Popped up. Perez, the catcher, is there. 1 out.
Twice he's gotten out that exact same pitch.
So 1 out, nobody on for Josh Hamilton, who drew a walk leading off the 2nd. Hamilton rolls one softly to second. Tejada's got it. 2 outs. Out in front of the off-speed pitch. 59 pitches for Guthrie. 31 strikes, 28 balls.
The last at bat against Hamilton, Hamilton got a lot of fastballs, so he was looking fastball first pitch to see if he could jump on it. Instead, Guthrie threw him an all-speed pitch and got him out in front with the ground ball out to second base.
Howie looks at his strike. Kendrick hit a fly ball to center field in the 2nd inning. That same 4-seam fastball up and in. This one down towards center field. Lorenzo Cain drifting back. He's at the wall, leaps up. Gone! A big fly for Howie Kendrick. Halos lead it 2-1.
2 solo shots. Yost looks on as Howie Kendrick going to center field against Guthrie. But a pitch, if you get your arms extended against Guthrie, that pitcher will flatten out over the plate, and Howie crushes it to center field. Some energy in that dugout here tonight. 6th home run of the year for Howie, 18th RBI.
Kayaspa takes outside.
Boy, fastball that stayed true, flattened out over the plate. Warmer weather, you're going to get that carry to center field, and that got over the wall.
Kayaspa flips one out toward right center field. Jeff Francoeur moving over, makes the grab. The inning comes to an end. But the Halos drop 2 here in the 4th inning. Albert Pujols leading off this 4th inning with his 6th home run of the year, and it was capped by Kendrick, 6th as well. We played 4. The Angels lead it 2-1. Halos up 2-1 as we start this 5th inning. Jason Vargas back to work. Both guys hitting their 6th home runs of the year. Guthrie's allowed 4 hits.
Well, just like we talked about on the pregame show, to be successful against Guthrie, you have to try to bring that fastball up and out over the plate. It's more hittable. 9 home runs allowed this year for Guthrie.
Mike Moustakas takes outside. It'll be the bottom 3rd of the order for the Royals here in the 5th inning. Moustakas, Francoeur, and Tejada. 5 strikeouts, no walks, 3 hits allowed for Vargas. One and one. Moustakas struck out looking in the 2nd inning. 0 for 1. And
that's the pitch for Vargas. Once he gets ahead of the count, he can utilize that against a left-handed batter. He hasn't thrown a lot of them this year, but he's got a good curveball.
Rolled foul.
Now he has him set up for that curveball now.
Two on the way. Breaking ball chopped toward the middle. Howie to the backhand's got it. Off balance throw, 1 out.
They got him with the curveball. Got him out in front. Howie did a nice job on the backhand. He's able to gather himself up. Strong throw. They get that important first out after your offense scores 2 runs for you.
Francoeur swings the first one, and it's a towering pop up to shallow left field. Eric Ibar backpedaling out, makes the grab. 2 down. Fans, on Saturday, the Halos will honor all those who defend our freedom, past and present. Armed Forces Day, presented by State Farm, will include flyover, military displays, a pregame ceremony, and a postgame Purple Heart baseball game with wounded warriors. Veterans and active military will receive 50% off select seating locations at the Angel Stadium ticket office while supplies last. For more info, just log on at angels.com/promotions.
Well, Eric Ibar had to go pretty far back on that pop-up.
Yeah.
A nice little smile with JB Shuck, but again, eventually JB's going to have to call off Eric on that play. Easier play coming in on the baseball as compared to backpedaling to catch that.
Miguel Tejada, 0 for 1. He grounded out to Ibar in the third inning. 2-1 Angels here in the fifth. 0-1 pitch. This one looped down toward shallow center field. That's going to get down for a base hit.
Well, that's the 511th career at bat for Tejada against the Angels. 22 career home runs, 89 RBI. You see a number of those years playing for the Oakland A's.
Top of the order now, Lorenzo Cain, the center fielder. 0 for 2 with a couple of punch outs. 4 swinging, 1 looking as far as the strikeouts for Vargas. This one's fouled back.
And all of a sudden, the Royals getting aggressive. You see Vargas in the strike zone. They're attacking the first pitch. Francoeur made an out, pop up. Cain right away swinging at the first pitch.
.64 pitches thrown by Vargas. 45 have been strikes. Tejada over at first base with that 2-out single. 1-1 pitch. Fouled back. It's that changeup again.
He's got such a good feel for that pitch. Really going back when you were talking about that during the opening, that game against Houston, he threw a couple back-to-back changeups. One he got out over the plate, and that's when he had that big inning against him. So he's got to stay on top and run that changeup away off the plate.
Missing low. Count even up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kansas City getting their run in the 4th inning. A single by Escobar to lead off the inning, and then he got doubled home by Billy Butler. 6th RBI of the series for Butler. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Cain. Iannetta have to throw on to first with 2 outs here to finish the strikeout, and the inning comes to an end. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. Angels on top 2-1. Angels setting up 8, 9, and 1. Iannetta, Shuck, and Ibar. Nice job by Jason Vargas. As Chris Iannetta looks at a strike. Iannetta drew a walk leading off the third inning and was thrown out. Trying to take the extra base on a beautiful bunt base hit by J.B. Shuck. Breaking pitch in the air toward right center field. Playable for Frank Court. One out. Chuck 1 for 1 with that bunt base hit up the third base line. He will look at a strike.
It's the first time since the first inning that Guthrie has gotten the first batter of an inning.
Walk to Hamilton, walk to Iannetta, and the home run to Pujols. This one pulled to the right side. Tejada's not going to get there. Second hit of the night for J.B. Shuck, and he'll spin the lineup back to the top. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Los Angeles Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. So a man on with one out, and Ibar at the plate. Eric 1 for 2 with a ground out to second and a base hit to left field. Time is called as a beach ball. He's hit the warning track down in right field.
When Eric Ibar is completely healthy, this is usually that time when he'll try to drag a bunt. Maybe even force Tejada to have to field that bunt in the second base position.
Breaking pitch missing inside. Hosmer very good fielding, first baseman. We've talked about that a number of times. He's slick fielding. Shuck takes off. The hit and run is working to perfection as Shuck keeps going on the third. Eric Ibar with his second hit of the night. The Angels have runners at the corners for Trout.
Well, that's what you like to see. That's the kind of aggressive base running you want from the Angels there. Hit and run, well executed by Eric Ibar. You put the ball on the ground, you have a movement in the infield. Anytime you have the defense out of their comfortable position, you have a better chance of succeeding, and Eric Ibar did so. His second hit in a row. Now first and third for Mike Trout to be able to add on here for the Angels.
Trout tonight with a walk and a ground out. So he's 0 for 1, although that ground out was a hard hit. One hopper to the shortstop. Breaking ball low.
He's had two pretty good at-bats. A 4-pitch walk in which he was able to track all those pitches that were down.
Here's the 1-0. And that is out toward left center field. Playable for Kane. Deep enough to score J.B. Shuck. Kane makes the catch. Ibar will stay at first base. And the Angels lead is now 3-1. As Trout picks up his 26th run batted in.
Nice job by Mike Trout. Got to pitch up. As you said, he's been tracking the baseball very well from Guthrie. He's able to get the job done. A hit and run, first to third, and then a sac fly by Mike Trout brings the third run across against a very good pitcher in Jeremy Guthrie.
Albert takes downstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Pujols with the leadoff home run in the fourth is 1 for 2 tonight.
Well, Guthrie was wondering where that pitch was to Pujols.
Good lead for Ibar at first base. Albert just got a pitch to hit there, got underneath it. Escobar, the shortstop, is out. And the inning comes to an end. The Angels tack on a run on the sac fly by Trout. We're through 5. The Angels lead at 3-1. At this top of the 6th inning. Guthrie unhappy perhaps with maybe a strike call that Tim McClellan didn't give him, and I think that was during the Trout at-bat, which led to the sacrifice fly.
Then the pitch was borderline. The first pitch against Pujols also, he thought he had it in the strike zone. Pretty upset. Very tough competitor. He's been throwing the ball so well.
Escobar, Gordon, and Butler here in the 6th inning for Kansas City against Jason Vargas. And according to the pitch tracks and the MLB at bat, it was a strike to Albert. It caught the bottom part of the strike zone, but McClellan didn't call it. Got the out regardless.
Tim McClellan is a pretty consistent home plate umpire.
This one off the end of the bat. Kendrick will have to come charging in. First down is in the books. Escobar now 1 for 3. And a single with a run scored in the 4th.
Well, when Vargas has that changeup running away and can sink the two-seam fastball in that same part of the strike zone, he gets a lot of those off the end of the bat weak ground ball outs. So far in the game, 6 ground ball outs for Vargas.
Gordon takes the breaking pitch outside. 1 for 2 tonight with a double in the first and a fly ball to left in the 4th inning. That was a nice running catch, diving catch by J.B. Shuck in left field. 1-1. Billy Butler is on deck. Gordon asked for time. Gordon's a guy you've got to be careful with, but you also want Butler batting with the bases clear. This one's pulled foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes, especially the way Butler is swinging the bat in this series. 6 runs batted in for him.
6 for 7. Pretty good pitch there from Vargas. Early in Gordon's career, you can get him inside with a fastball. He moved a little bit further off the plate, making it more difficult to get him inside.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Gordon on that slow breaking ball. 2 outs.
Because of that pitch before at 88 inside, it opened up the outer part of the plate, and a good sweeping breaking ball. The pitch that I feel that Vargas has to throw more against left-handed batters because it's very effective in another strikeout. Make it 7 on the game for Vargas.
Yeah, it matches a season high for him. 3rd time that he's done that, including his last start. As Butler steps in with the bases cleared, 2 outs, up and in. 1 ball, no strikes. Butler over a game and a half has raised his batting average 36 points with his 6 for 7. Came in batting .228 with his 1 for 2, .264.
2-1 coming into the game, a .293 career hitter against the Angels.
Two-one pitch. That is driven out to deep right center field. Trumbo is back at the wall, and it's a 1-run lead for the Angels. A solo home run for Billy Butler. 3-2 Halos.
Needless to say, Billy Butler should get nothing close to the plate here the rest of the series. He's swinging an extremely hot bat. And that's power the other way. Fastball away, middle away, and he crushes it right center field. Let the baseball travel. That used to be his power, driving the ball, gap power, not home run power. That's a long way.
That's his 5th of the year. Now 7 for 8 in the series. 26th hit by Kansas City. 1-0 to Hosmer. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Hosmer's 0 for 2. A fly ball to center field. A bouncer back to the mound. Another big swing by Hosmer there. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Now set up for that breaking ball down and away. Keep it down.
Check swing. They wanted an appeal, and Bob Davidson said he did not go. Emergency hack. Vargas has it, fires to first. The inning comes to an end. Kansas City gets a run on the home run by Butler. Angels lead is 3-2. Trumbo, Hamilton, and Kendrick against Jeremy Guthrie here in the 6th. 73 pitches, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 home runs allowed. He's tied up Trumbo tonight. 0-1 count.
You start him off each at bat with the same pitch. Fastball, inner half, and then he'll eventually throw the 4-seam fastball off the plate inside. Exactly like that.
Yeah. It's been the same pattern in all 3 at-bats. Would be surprised to see him come back in there again.
He almost has to when he's had 3 swings like that against that hard fastball in. But sometimes a pitcher will get tricky out there and try to spot something on the outside corner. But Trumbo has good power the other way himself.
And that is lined right to Tejada. Had him positioned perfectly for the first down, but that was a rocket.
Try to be tricky. Go away, breaking ball, and it was crushed. Line drive. Well, he stayed with that baseball so well. Let the ball travel. Slider. With Tejada right there to make the play.
Hamilton drills one out to deep right center field. Forget about it. Gone, a big fly for Hamilton. 4-2 Angels.
some serious big boy area out in center field for Hamilton. Starting to get a feel for the type of player we've seen over the years. Fastball, middle of the plate. And that is some serious big boy territory. You might have been able to pick that baseball up if you were doing the post-game show at the rock pile on that one.
Might have to now. That's Bo Jackson off Rick Russell territory.
Oh, yes. And a similar pitch down in the strike zone. And, boy, you talk about getting some lift and separation. Long, big fly.
2 balls and no strikes on Kendrick. 3rd home run allowed by Guthrie tonight. Howie has one of them. He's 1 for 2.
Well, it's funny how Guthrie is set up. Hamilton, first at bat, fastball. First pitch. Next at bat to a breaking pitch. He got him to swing over top of the ground ball. And this time fastball. And he's upset with himself. He even caught that baseball with his bare hand back from Perez. And he knows he had to go out and talk to try to settle down Guthrie. You see that too often where as a pitcher you get the baseball back and catch it with your bare hand.
Guthrie thought that last pitch to Howie was a strike. The 3-0. 3-1.
And that was a long stare in. And Tim McClellan is one of those umpires. Definitely don't show him up and look in to see if you think you have a strike or not.
Foul back.
A pitcher that's upset, wonder where that at. He catches it with his bare hand. You don't see that too often. It's not a wise decision on your pitching hand.
Full count on Kendrick. 1 out. Callaspo's on deck. Just getting that run back. Hamilton with his 5th of the year. Lined into center field. That's a base hit.
3 baseballs been hit very well this inning. The line drive by Trumbo that was caught by Tejada. A massive home run by Hamilton. That line drive up the middle for Howie Kendrick. His 2nd hit of the game.
2nd time this year in which Guthrie's allowed 3 home runs in a ball game. The only other time was the 2nd start of the season. That was against the Minnesota Twins.
We've seen a hit run put on already in the game by the Angels, successfully done. You got to keep pressing the issue here.
Callaspo's 0 for 2 with a double play ball and a fly to right. Pulls this one foul. To no one count. That's where Callaspo hit that double play ball in the 2nd. Was over to Hosmer at first base on a slow breaking ball. Quick throw to first. Howie back in there standing up. That was 86, 87 with movement to Hosmer.
Guthrie's a little upset right now. There's no question. But sometimes that can work against you on the mound. If you're overthrowing pitches, baseball flattens out and becomes hittable.
Let's go back to our Hyundai key to the game.
You're talking about pressing the issue right now against a very good pitcher. I can't drive 55. You got to, right now, a situation where you try to expand the lead, hit and run. It's worked already in the 4th inning, produced a run. You got to keep that going.
That is pulled foul. One ball, 2 strikes.
I think that was the 5th inning. J.B. Shuck, Eric Ibar worked that fantastically. And Mike Trout, sac fly to center field.
Guthrie dropping down a little bit, sinking that pitch. Callaspo fouled it off the left. Still at 1 ball, 2 strikes. 88 pitches thrown for Guthrie tonight.
What a nice, easy swing for Hamilton. Hit that ball to center field in a long way. reflecting on that swing. Easy swing for him.
Breaking pitch is down and away.
63-mile-an-hour curveball from Guthrie.
Howie almost guessed right because he bluffed going from first. Little looper down the right field line. There's a base hit. Kendrick will round second, head to third. Ninth hit of the night for the Angels. Runners at the corners with one out. KCA AT ANA coming up.
We're going to see some movement now down for Ned Yost down in the bullpen for Kansas City. Little flare into the outfield. They're going first to third. Slider stayed up enough for Callaspo to get that base hit in the right field, and Howie easily cruises into third.
Right-hander Aaron Crow begins to loosen out of the Royals bullpen. Fireballing right-hander of the University of Missouri. It's the first time the Angels have had 3 consecutive hits in an inning since Friday's game against the White Sox. That was in the third inning of that ball game, in which they totaled 5 total hits. That's been an issue with the Angels this year. The lineup bunching together hits and runs, not just in one inning, but in multiple innings. Not had that lineup click 1 through 9 at all this season. It's been sporadic.
I mean, if you're Ryan Ender right now, you have to have some patience. More than likely, you're going to see Guthrie throw a fastball, hard fastball in on his hands. Going to try to jam him.
Ida with a walk and a fly to right. Nine hits allowed by Guthrie, matching a season high for him. He did that on April 21st against Boston. It's also the last time he gave up 4 runs. 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball grounded to short. Escobar feeds to Hada. The relay in time. Another inning-ending double play for the Angels. The Halos do get a run on the Josh Hamilton monster home run to center field. His 5th of the year. 6th in the books. The Angels lead is 4-2.
The whiff. Jason Vargas been very effective so far in this game through 6 innings. So Lorenzo Cain swinging a changeup. Moustakas looks at a fastball, but it's been the changeup. It's been the very good pitch so far for Vargas. He's also mixing a couple good breaking pitches to get swings and misses. 7 punch-outs on the game for Vargas, utilizing all 3 of his out pitches to get those 7.
6, 7, and 8 due up for Kansas City against Vargas, who's thrown 84 pitches. Salvador Perez will lead things off for the Royals. Kansas City with 5 hits tonight. 0-1 count. Perez 0 for 2. Ground ball to third and a strikeout in the 4th inning. One hopper to short. Ibar's got it as he backs up just a bit. 1 out. Hey, folks, on Saturday, the Angels will be hosting the White Sox. Remember, that's a 1:05 start on Big Fox. The fans in attendance will receive a camel hat courtesy of State Farm while supplies last. Purchase your tickets today at the Angel Stadium ticket office or by logging on at angels.com. Mike Moustakas steps in with 1 out, nobody on. Takes outside. Moustakas is 0 for 2. Struck out looking at the second and grounded out to Kendrick leading off the 5th.
Vargas with a good feel for that curveball since the 2nd inning. Been effective against left-handed batters.
90th pitch of the night. Season high for Vargas as far as pitches thrown, 109. That was April 23rd as Moustakas lofts 1 out to center. Trout comes in and over to his right a little bit. 2 outs. So the first 2 retired here to start the 7th. That'll bring up Jeff Francoeur. Guy affectionately known as Frenchie. Still only 29 years of age. Why does it feel like we've been saying that for 10 years?
It might be Jack Benny.
Only 29. It's amazing. Originally in the Atlanta Braves system.
Been in the big leagues for a long time.
Yeah. Takes down and in. It's 2 balls and no strikes. He was a first-round pick, 23rd overall by the Braves in 02. Got to the big leagues in 05. Brief stop with the Mets. Brief stop with the Texas Rangers. That was in 2010. Played in 15 games there. 3rd season with the Royals.
Always had one of the best throwing arms for that right field position.
Looks at a strike. 3-1 now.
Fastball hitter guesses fastball in the inner half. That's where he generates his power.
A strikeout and a pop-up for Francoeur. 3-1 pitch, and that's hit well down the left field line. It is hooking, and that is foul.
He gets himself in a fastball count or gets a fastball in the area he's looking for. He's got a lot of power. Almost every one of his home runs you're going to see to left field to left center field. Vargas worked it foul. Well, now you got to think in terms of a change up away.
3-2 pitch. Little slow roller to short. Ibar comes charging in, gets rid of it quickly, and Pujols drops the baseball. That'll be the 3rd error of the year for Albert. A nice play by Eric Ibar.
Real good play. Good throw on the run, testing that hamstring.
Now Mike Butcher's going to go out with 2 outs. Kind of an interesting visit to the mound. I know you want to get Michael Kahn ready to go, but
Vargas is a veteran. He knows that Pujols is a Gold Glover. That doesn't happen too often to him. He's not going to be upset about that.
more than likely last inning for Vargas. 97 pitches. Wants a new baseball. Miguel Tejada 1 for 2. Hopefully that error by Pujols does not come back to haunt the Angels with a 4-2 lead here in the 7th. 28th error committed by the Halos this year. Kansas City has committed 27. First one on the corner for a strike.
Utilizing the bigger part of the yard, fastball, change up away. If you're going fastball in against Tejada, it's got to be off the plate on the hands.
The 11th game of the year for Tejada with Kansas City. And it's 0-2, and you see that reaction right there. He knew he had a pitch to hit there. No balls and 2 strikes.
Back-to-back pitches away. Catches the corner. Well, now you have an opportunity to throw a baseball, about a baseball or two off the outside corner.
Ground ball to short. Skimmer to Ibar. Flips it to Kendrick. The inning comes to an end. 7th inning stretch time at the Big A. The Angels with a 4-2 lead. Davey Shuck swings to the first one from Guthrie. Hosmer thought he dropped the baseball. Shuck is put out for the first out here in the 7th. JB now 2 for 3 on the night. Now bring up Ibar.
Got to work that ground ball through the hole between first and second again. But this time Hosmer able to cut that off with the first out on 1 pitch.
Vargas more than likely done after 7 innings. Dane De La Rosa is getting ready now. Top of the order due up for Kansas City in the 8th. 1 ball, no strikes. Ibar with a couple of singles. 2 for 3 overall. First game back since straining that hamstring in Houston on Thursday night.
Well, it's so important to the defense and the offense for the Angels.
This one off the end of the bat rolled foul. 1-1. Three home runs allowed by Guthrie, Pujols, Kendrick, and Hamilton. How about for that first time that Pujols and Hamilton have homered his teammates. You get those 2 guys going at the very least. You get some continuity with the offense, which has not occurred this year.
Well, can you imagine you're on the mound and you're facing a hot Pujols, Trumbo, and Hamilton?
Oh, just wide of the bag.
You're exhausted by the end of the night. All three of those guys can hit the baseball out to any part of the field in a long way.
Pujols with his 6th. Kendrick with his 6th. Hamilton with his 5th.
Howie to dead center field. Hamilton to dead center field.
1-2. Back up the middle. Guthrie's got it. 2 outs.
And here's our Carl's Jr. sports update around Major League Baseball. Battle of the Titans. King Felix up against CC Sabathia. Both pitched extremely well, but both no decisions. King Felix went 6 innings, 8 punch outs. Sabathia 6 1/3 with 10. It's not always sunny in Philadelphia. The Philadelphia Phillies, although they did win today, there's talk about that team may have closed that window of opportunity. Maybe some available players in the trade market. Some arms possibly. Cliff Lee may be out there.
Roy Halladay, not so much. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And the thing with Roy Halladay, everyone thought that it might be it for him, but he had surgery done, and they were very optimistic. They fixed his shoulder, and then he'd be back possibly by August, which is extremely fast for a shoulder surgery.
Hammered to deep left field. Gone, a big fly for Mike Trout, the 4th of the night for the Angels. 5-2 Halos.
Dino Evil getting some work at third base coaching box. The big boys going yard. Talk about some distance. That is incredible power for the 21-year-old Mike Trout. 7th home run of the year. 27 RBIs now for Trout.
Pujols takes inside. Albert 1 for 3. Home run in the 4th inning.
Well, that smile, I mean, you know you squared up a baseball about as well as you can.
Foul back. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Pujols, Trouts, and Hamiltons. There's some serious distance, and Howie over the wall with the 400 sign in center field.
Just a little floater down the right field line. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Albert will stop at first, and nobody behind him this time. He easily gets back to the bag. Was it Chicago where he got thrown out at first?
Yes.
Multi-hit game for Albert. First since last Wednesday in Houston. The 11th for the Angels.
We're now 11 home runs allowed this year for Guthrie. We talked about earlier today in the pregame show. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes, but when he does, it's generally going to be out over the plate and flatten out.
Trumbo popped it up. Salvador Perez, the catcher, is there, makes the grab. And the inning comes to an end, but Mike Trout gives the Angels a little more breathing room. A solo shot for him. 7th of the year, 7 in the books. It's a 5-2 Angels lead. Ram dealers. Visit ramtrucks.com today. And by El Pollo Loco, crazy you can taste. Top of the 8th inning here at the Big A, 5-2. Angels lead it. Mike Trout picking up his 7th home run of the year. Multi-RBI game for him. Guthrie season high as far as runs allowed, home runs, and hits. Jason Vargas for the Angels back out on the mound. They face the top of the order, and Kane, Escobar, and Gordon. Although Dane De La Rosa is ready to go. It looks like Scott Downs is loosening as well. Kane, the center fielder, is 0 for 3 tonight. 3 strikeouts.
The one thing you don't want to do if you're Jason Vargas, give the Royals any momentum. Get that first out. Kane has already struck out 3 times in the game. You got to fight your way all the way back in this count now. And this next pitch right down the heart of the plate.
Going a 4-pitch walk, and the first walk allowed tonight. That's going to be it. We were kind of surprised that Vargas came back out. He'd gone through 7 innings. Socha sent him out there for one more batter, and now that batter has reached on 4 pitches. A pitching change. We are in the 8th. It's 5-2 Halos. Vargas is done. 7 strikeouts, 1 walk, 5 hits allowed. Sent out there to start this inning, and on 4 pitches walked Lorenzo Cain, who had been 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. 104 pitches for Jason. Now Mike Socha turns the ball over to Dane De La Rosa, in and out, who's in, who is out. De La Rosa will face El City's Escobar, the shortstop, with Lorenzo Cain at his speed over at first base. 18th game of the year for Dane. 1-0 mark in the 3.86 ERA. 15 hits in 18 and 2/3 innings, 17 strikeouts.
And Escobar has grounded into 7 double plays this year. Socha would like to see De La Rosa throw that hard sinking fastball to get a ground ball and an infielder.
One ball, no strikes. So 5 out of the strike zone, and now you've got the heart of the order coming up with Kansas City. Scott Downs still loosening in that bullpen. De La Rosa last pitched 2 innings on Friday in Chicago. 3 strikeouts, 6 up, 6 down for him in that outing.
Well, all of a sudden, the strike zone is going away from the Angel pitchers. Vargas 4-pitch walk to Kane. Now De La Rosa 3-0 count to Escobar. And you're looking for trouble when you have Gordon followed by Billy Butler.
Three and one. Little pause there, hesitation at the very end there by De La Rosa, not familiar with Tim McClellan, hoping for a strike call, and just got to wait a little bit.
That was right down the middle of the plate.
Kane over at first base. 3-1 count on Escobar with Gordon on deck. Full count. Here's the 3-2. Popped him up. Howie Kendrick drifting out. One away.
Nice job by De La Rosa to get back in the count and get the fly ball to Howie Kendrick for the first out of the inning.
You should have joined us after the ball game. Angels live post game presented by your SoCal Mazda dealers. Gordon steps in with 1 out. Lorenzo Cain standing at first base. Gordon 1 for 3, had a double back in the first inning. Fly to left and has struck out. Other 2 plate appearances. First one is just in off the plate. 96 miles per hour.
Well, that looked like a pretty good pitch.
Two balls and no strikes. Vargas responsible for Lorenzo Cain standing at first. Now Mike Butcher's going to go out. It looks like Michael Kahn now is back up and loosening. Downs is ready to go. And my guess would be that De La Rosa gets Gordon and Butler, and if things continue, then it's Downs to face Hosmer. Unless the command for De La Rosa falters completely in this at-bat, then they might have to make a different type of move. Cain leaning at first, takes off. The 2-0 is a strike, and Cain is safe at second base on the stolen base. Pretty good throw by Iannetta, but Cain got a pretty good jump, even though he was leaning so much.
Yeah, he did have a good throw from Iannetta. That was a solid throw. Real close play at the bag.
5th of the year for Cain, so man in scoring position.
Gets the hand in there. Great view. Great camera work by our guys to be able to show that Cain got that hand in before the tag was applied.
2-1 pitch. Gordon bounces it up the first baseline. Pujols has got it. Waves off De La Rosa. 2 outs.
Now here's our Coors Light cold hard fact. Billy Butler in this series, 7 for 8 with a home run, 3 doubles, 7 RBI. 22 RBI in his last 16 games versus the Angels. The one guy you want to avoid, make him swing a pitch out of the strike zone if you can. Tonight's cold hard fact is brought to you by Frost Brew Coors Light.
1 ball, no strikes.
Boy, De La Rosa so far has faced 3 batters. All 3 he's fallen behind in the count. He's got to trust his fastball.
Here's the 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes. So every hitter that De La Rosa's faced, he's fallen behind at 2 balls, no strikes. We've got Escobar in the pop-up. Gordon on the ground out. Lorenzo Cain standing at third base. 5-2 Angels here in the 8th inning with 2 outs. On the corner.
There's always some anxiety as a starting pitcher sitting there waiting to see if your bullpen mates can get you through the inning. Looking on, you can look and act calm, but you're certainly not on the inside.
Vargas looking for his 2nd win of the year. 2-1 pitch. Butler drives one to the alley in right center field. Trout got a terrific jump on it, makes the catch, and the inning comes to an end. We will head to the bottom of the 8th. The Angels still on top.
Says the Big A is very difficult to hit the ball out of the ballpark. Albert Pujols with a big fly in the 4th. Kendrick with a home run in the 4th. Billy Butler with a 2-run home run. Josh Hamilton home run to center field, and followed up by Mike Trout. 4 home runs hit by the Angels, 1 by Kansas City. The Angels lead this game here in the bottom of the 8th, 5-2.
Aaron Crow, the fireballing right-hander, comes on in relief of Jeremy Guthrie. And here in the 8th inning, he'll be facing Hamilton, Kendrick, and Callaspo. Josh Homer to deep center field onto the batter's eye. His last time up, he's drawn a walk and he has grounded out. So a 1-for-2 night for Hamilton.
That sign, Hamiltown.
First one is down and in. 1 ball, no strikes. Crow pitching down his 12th game, no record, a .96 ERA. This is a very good pitching staff, both from a starter and reliever standpoint. Has 1 save. Pitched 73 games with Kansas City last year. Overthrown fastball in the dirt.
He does have a power fastball, 93-97, hard slider, occasional changeup. I think at times, though, with Crow, throws too many sliders because he does have that great fastball.
Two balls and 1 strike. A 3-1 count. Crow grew up on the Kansas side, just outside of Topeka, Kansas. At the University of Missouri, Big 12 Pitcher of the Year, Golden Spikes Award finalist, 2008. That is lined right to the shortstop, Escobar. Allowed out, the first one here in the 8th. MLB.TV celebrates 11 years with new low yearly prices. Watch every out-of-market game live on over 350 supported mobile and connected devices in HD quality with MLB.TV Premium. Visit MLB.TV today. Baseball everywhere. One loud out, and Howie Kendrick steps up. Multi-hit game for Howie. He shoots this one to the right side, and Tejada can't get it. A 3-hit game for Kendrick with a 1-out single to right.
Some good swings throughout for Howie in this game to produce that 3-hit game. A home run to center field, a well-hit baseball up the middle. Now this one to the right side. When Howie gets on one of his streaks, generally he starts it off by hitting a lot of shots up the middle.
Callaspo 1 for 3 tonight. Kendrick takes off the pitch. Was mishandled by Perez, and Howie will pick up a stolen base.
Second stolen base of the game for the Angels. And the game is 13. Throw a little bit longer to the plate as compared to Guthrie. Good jump, and then Perez unable to get the handle as he's trying to get the transfer from the glove to the throwing arm. Allows Howie to get into scoring position. 4th stolen base of the year and 5 attempts for Howie.
1 ball, 1 strike. Ernesto Frieri getting ready. In the 9th inning, it'll be Hosmer, Perez, and Moustakas. Downs is still playing catch as well. 1-1 pitch. Lays off. 2 balls and a strike. Crow, a first-round pick in 2009, 12th overall selection. Now we're in the dirt. Now we'll allow Kendrick to advance. Matter of fact, Crow back-to-back years as a first-round pick. The Washington Nationals took him with the 9th overall selection in 2008. Didn't shine. Stayed in school. Then the Royals took him 12th overall in 2009.
Was a starter. They've converted him to a bullpen piece. It's been very effective coming out of the bullpen. Now the infield in for Kansas City. A big run here for Callaspo.
Way outside, he walked him. So 2 on with 1 out. Chris Iannetta coming up. They mentioned Crow being a starter. When he signed, he stayed as a starter, made 29 starts in the minor leagues. But the minute he got to the big leagues in 2011, straight to the bullpen, 57 games. His first year, last year, 73 games, notching 2 saves. Iannetta tonight with a walk, a fly to right, and a double play ball. He's 0 for 2. Kendrick at third, Callaspo at first. Here's the first one. Lifted foul and out of play.
He was aggressive this time. Last time up in an RBI situation, he took a fastball middle part of the plate. This time he was not going to allow that one to get away.
No 1 pitch. They pitch out. Nothing's going on. The 1-1. Just off the plate. 2 balls and a strike.
good fastball count now for Iannetta. Trying to get a fastball elevated enough so he can get the sac fly at the very least. Get that 6th run across.
Cayaspo takes off. Iannetta punches it to the right side. Tejada almost falls down trying to throw it home. The run scores. 6-2 Angels. It was going to be a tough play. Even if Tejada does not stumble to throw kind of across his body, Kendrick was going on contact.
Well, we talked about the need for aggressive baseball from Mike Scioscia and the Angels tonight, and they certainly have done that. Well, key situation, they put hit and runs on to effectively help the team score runs. Well, if he's not going, there's a real good chance that could be a 4-6-3 double play instead, because Cayaspo's going.
Right.
He's safe at second, and Howie can score.
J.B. Shuck takes down and away. And if Tejada comes home, he's not going to get Kendrick, and you still have first and second with 1 out.
Exactly. He did the only thing he could do at that particular point, especially because he was forced to move with a hit and run on.
Shuck lofts one out to left. Alex Gordon coming on. And we will head to the 9th. The Angels up by the score of 6-2. Go back to our AT&T Twitter poll question of the series. Biggest rivalry for the Angels. Sox, Royals, or Yankees? Sox still leading it with 45% of the vote. We will wrap up
a little
the
closer.
voting.
A little closer. It was 48 last night.
We'll wrap it up tomorrow night in the finale of this 3-game set. Barry Enright will make his 2nd start of the year in place of Tommy Hanson, and Wade Davis, the right-hander, is going for Kansas City. But here in the 9th inning, Mike Scioscia's turned the ball over to Scott Downs in a non-save situation. And he'll see 2 lefties here in the 9th inning. Hosmer to lead things off. Perez a righty, and then Moustakas. Eric Hosmer 0 for 3 tonight. A fly to center, a couple of bouncers back to the mound. One ball, no strikes.
That's a pretty good movement on that 88-mile-an-hour fastball.
No balls, 1 strike. That swing.
21st career game for Scott Downs versus Kansas City.
Oh, 2 count. 4 home runs hit tonight for the Angels. Pujols, Kendrick, Hamilton, and Trout. All solo shots, but all very effective, giving the Angels a 4-run lead here in the 9th inning, 6-2. Jeremy Guthrie gave up 5 runs, all earned, on 7 hits, and he's the guy that gave up 4 home runs, 11 total hits. A bouncer foul at the plate, still at 0-2. Jason Vargas, 2 runs in 7 innings, 5 hits, including the Butler home run. 7 strikeouts and 1 walk. And that 1 walk was to the last batter he faced.
Well, he threw the ball so well, continues his dominance of Kansas City coming into it. 4-1 mark with an ERA 3.55 for Vargas against Kansas City.
One ball, 2 strikes. Downs last pitched Saturday with 1/3 of an inning. 3-2 Angels win. That was a strikeout of Alejandro De Aza in that 7th inning Saturday.
See if we'll spot a fastball away here.
One, 2 on the way. Foul out of play on the left side. Salvador Perez is on deck. Mike Moustakas after that. Kayaspo off the line at third. Ibar shading Hosmer toward the middle. Evens the count up.
Boy, he hit the target. Chris Iannetta wanted that breaking ball in the dirt. Hosmer did not chase it. There's some good swings in the game for Hamilton tonight. Home run, even that line drive to shortstop. Even though it goes as an out, it was well hit.
Bouncer to second. Kendricks got it on 2 hops. One away. Here's the catcher, Salvador Perez. He's had an 0-for-3 game. 2 ground outs and a strikeout. Downs trying to finish it off for Vargas, looking for his 2nd win. Falls behind here at 1 ball, no strikes.
3 excellent games out of the last 4 for Jason Vargas.
Two and 0. Dane De La Rosa went 1 inning, all zeros for him. There's Enright. He'll have his hands full tomorrow night with this Royals team, very aggressive offensively. Struggled in his first start, filling in for Hansen.
Well, what you have to do and you have to realize as you watch this game, the effectiveness of getting ahead of the count and what you can do against these hitters when you're ahead.
3-0 now. Two runs, 5 hits, 5 left on for the Royals. 6 runs, 12 hits, 1 error. 6 left on for the Angels. Halos scoring in the last 5 straight innings.
Some real good approach, some patience at the plate. We've seen that throughout against Guthrie. Didn't chase a lot of pitches down. Occasionally swung at some tough ones up and in, but for the most part laid off that 2-seam fastball and break a ball that was started at the knees. Some quality at bats throughout.
Three-two pitch. Perez lines to the left, a base hit. A 1-out knock puts a man on for Mike Moustakas. 6th hit of the night for Kansas City. Elliott Johnson takes over as the pinch runner at first for Perez. Moustakas 0 for 3 tonight. First one. Strike. A little slow roller to the left side. Downs is only placed to first. 2 outs. So the Halos 1 out of way at their 15th win. Mike Scioscia is coming out. Jeff Francoeur coming up, and Mike's going to make a pitching change, I think. How about that? A pitching change with a 6-2 lead here in the ninth, 2 outs. Saturday at 1 o'clock, 12:30 with the pregame show on MLB Network as well as Fox. White Sox against the Angels, and I believe it'll be, if I'm not mistaken, Joe Buck and Tim McCarver will have that call.
I always seem to come in town when there's a giveaway hat.
Oh, see, now
I
you're.
think it's all about the hat.
Now you're putting 2 and 2 together.
Yes.
I like how you think.
What's that equal again?
What's that?
What's 2 and 2 equal again?
Ernesto Frieri comes on in a non-save situation. Got a man at second base. And Jeff Francoeur will step up. Ernesto last pitched on Saturday in Chicago. Trying to get the last out here. Seal the victory for Jason Vargas. First one on the way. Lifted in the air. Shallow right field. Howie Kendrick drifting over. He is there. Light that baby up as the Angels take game 2 tonight by the final of 6-2.
Well, they use a long ball we talked about in the pregame show against Guthrie. Such a quality pitcher. Doesn't make many mistakes, but so when he does, you have to take advantage of it. 4 home runs for the Angels tonight. Mike Trout with a big fly. Howie Kendrick, a home run and 3 hits. Albert Pujols, Josh Hamilton, Of course, Jason Vargas, the story, 7+ innings, 7 punch-outs, is 1 walk, 2 earned runs allowed, and Ernesto Frieri gets that last out. It's great to see Eric Ibar back in the lineup, doing what he does best, the defense and the offense. A couple hits for him also, but that mammoth home run for Mike Trout. An excellent overall effort, very aggressive. First to third a couple times, a couple stolen bases. The defense was there. The pitching staff was there. One of the best all-around games we've seen from the Angels in quite some time. It's good to see that middle part of the order. Pujols and Hamilton, first game this year in which they've hit a home run together on the same night. What a job by Josh Hamilton. That ball was absolutely smashed this center field. Now, Jamie Maggio is going to go down and talk to Josh Hamilton and talk about that home run and the big victory here for the Angels.
All right, thank you, Victor. Josh, 3 home runs in the last 7 games. You've been driving the ball to center and left. Is that a good sign to you of where your swing is?
It's a good sign. You know, for me, it's about going out there and being aggressive. You know, I swing more than normal, more than most people, but when it's working, it's a good result.
Well, you had 1 home run. Angels had 4 in this game, and they came against a pitcher who was unbeaten in his last 18 starts.
Yeah.
So what was clicking offensively for the Halos tonight?
You know what? He throws that little heater with a little run on it, and it looks like a strike, but if you let it go, it's going to be a ball. And it's very tempting to swing at, but our guys did a good job laying off, and we had gotten good hitters counts and then capitalized on it.
What's the takeaway from tonight's game as you head into tomorrow and try and win this series?
Say it again?
The takeaway from tonight's game as you head into tomorrow and try to win this series?
Doing everything like we need to. Pitching did a great job tonight. Defense did a good job, and we swung the bat well. So if we can do that on a consistent basis, we'll be great.
Well, congratulations on the win. Thanks for your time, Josh.
Thank you.
All right. You heard it. The Angels win it 6-2 against the Royals. Angels Live, presented by your SoCal Mazda dealers, is coming up next with Victor Rojas and Jose Mota.